Welcome to the Nothing Much Just Chillin' Show with your hosts Emma and Julio. Nothing much, just chillin' show. Nothing much, just a chillin'.
Welcome back to NMJC, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Emma, and this is my podcast called Nothing Much Just Chillin', where we chill. And even though I might speak about some serious topics from time to time, I'd like to talk about it in a very chill way, and I'm really just good at chilling. I just said chill so many times, but it's true. I'm really good at chilling. I am not a type of person that's like, oh, I always have to be on the go. I think lately, this is so random, I did not think I was going to talk about this at the start of the podcast, but I have some friends and like some people that I follow online who will always talk about how they have a hard time slowing down and they wish they had like more work-life balance or more like work chill balance. And that always just like really surprises me that like people don't want to chill. Like when they're chilling, they're like always thinking about like what else they could be doing work-wise. And to an extent, I don't know, I'm not like that. I think when I'm working and I'm focusing, and then when I'm not working, I'm chilling. Like when I have stuff to do, I'm really in it and I do it. But when I'm not working, I'm not feeling guilty for chilling, because I find that rest is just really important in my life. Like sleep and chilling and rest and just like hanging with like friends and my boyfriend is how I'm able to really focus when I do have work to do. Because if I was just like always working, if I was already always like go, I would get so burnt out. And maybe that's why those people do get burnt out. But I don't understand when somebody says like, oh, I can't chill, like I can't take a day off, and like, oh, I haven't taken a day off, or oh, I haven't taken a vacation in years. Like I don't understand that. So if you're new to this podcast, welcome. And I guess that's a little like backstory on why I wanted to name this podcast Nothing Much Just Chillin', because I want to promote chillin'. I want people to know that chilling is okay. It's totally fine to do absolutely nothing. Okay, let's get started with the show today. What have I done since we last spoke? Thursday, Julio and I went downtown because my friend Maya was having an art show, or she was having like a reception for the start date of her photos being displayed in this gallery. And it was so cool. It was so amazing to like see her work on the walls, and like people can go see it and buy her prints. It's very cool. And it's always just like good to hang out with her and her fiance Josh. I took their proposal pictures, if you guys remember seeing that on my Instagrams. But yeah, Maya too, she was in my 3 photographers video, so you've probably seen her like a lot on my Instagram. But she's just one of the most talented, creative people I've ever met, and I love her work. It's so like, she just has like such a specific style, and I love it. It's just spooky, it's like goth, it's dark, it's scary. It makes you feel something. It might make you feel uncomfortable, and it might make me feel scared sometimes, but I fucking love it. And I love that she's just like so herself. And it's so funny because like her photography, her art style is just like very dark and stuff, like what I just said. But herself, like her personality is the most bubbly. Like she's always talking, she's always smiling, she's always like really like hyper and giddy, and like she's just a ray of sunshine. But it's just so funny because it's in contrast with her work. But anyways, we went to that, and then we went to Pine and Crane afterwards because Julio and I miss it a lot. Pine and Crane downtown, the downtown location, opened like not that far ahead of when we moved to downtown. Like we only had it for like, I don't know, a couple months there. But there is a location in Silver Lake. Anyways, Pine and Crane is a great restaurant, and they have amazing vegan options. I made everybody try what are they called? the fried mushroom daikon cakes. I made everybody try those because, I mean, everybody that we were with wasn't eating vegan, but I made them try those, and everyone was like, wow, this is insane. Like, the texture, the flavor, everything is fucking insane. It's the best. I love that place. Definitely check it out if you live in LA. I think the only locations are in LA, but if you're listening to this and you live in LA, go to Pine and Crane. And then on Friday, Julio and I went to... Julio is my boyfriend, for those who are new here. Julio and I went to the movie theater to see Barbie, which is so exciting, so great. I absolutely fucking loved it, but I'm gonna share my thoughts on it a little bit later. And then Saturday, we just chilled, and then at night, Julio and I drove to Irvine, and he dropped me off at the, what's it called? Irvine point five, I don't know. It was a concert venue, but he dropped me off because I got access to shoot Jason Mraz's concert, which was so fucking cool. I've never been in like a pit, well, besides the like 5 seconds that I was in the pit for Niall Horan's set at Boston Calling before they kicked me out. And it was probably because it was like past 3 songs, because it's so weird, but like that's like a rule across the board. I'm pretty sure that photographers can only be in the photo pit, like in that pit where the security guard is. They can only be there for the first 3 songs of the concert. I don't really know why they do that. I would love to be there for like the last songs, but I don't know. Anyways, I'll take what I can get. Okay, so I got there, I shot the first 3 songs, and then Julio, he didn't come in. He went to get us food at one of our favorite vegan places in Orange County, in Costa Mesa. It's called Seabird's Kitchen. So he was picking up food, and so while I was waiting for him, I didn't know like if I was gonna have access to like go anywhere else in the theater, but nobody blinked an eye at me. Like I just went everywhere. Like I just walked around. Like there was probably like, I don't know, like 40 security guards that I walked past, and that I just didn't ask permission. I just like started taking pictures from in the audience, and nobody told me I couldn't do that, which I thought I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm glad I got away with that. Not got away, like I'm sure if I have a photo pass, like I'm sure I can like roam around and take photos, and I wasn't like disturbing, and it honestly was a very like tame audience too. Like nobody was like getting, like, it's Jason Mraz, like people are there really just to like chill and listen to his music. So yeah, it was super chill vibes there. It was very nice. But yeah, I ended up taking a lot of great photos, so I'm very proud of myself. And then we went home and ate our Seabird's Kitchen. I don't know if anybody cares what we got, but we got the like barbecue burger, fucking fire, with fries. That it would have been better if we like ate them at the restaurant. We got the Brussels sprouts that are really good. We got the purple taquitos. Those are fire. And then we also got, the best thing there is the grilled cheese. The grilled cheese there is so fucking good. It's like a gourmet grilled cheese, and it's just, I remember when I had that for the first time, it's like one of those meals. And then on Sunday, Julio and I went on a pier date, which I've been saying, I think I said in the last episode or the episode before that I wanted to do. Like that's on our like summer bucket list that we haven't written down. It's just like in our heads of like, oh, we should do these things. But also just living on the west side now, we're like, okay, well, we need to like take advantage of living in a fucking vacation place, like living in a tourist place. It's pretty wild, but I only really go to take pictures of people. Like if somebody wants a photo shoot like in front of the Ferris wheel or on the Ferris wheel or whatever, if they want those like pure vibes for their photo shoot, like I go there a lot to shoot, but like to being paid to shoot other people, but I don't really go there ever to like chill to like have fun and stuff. And it was so nice. It was so So, I mean, I knew it would be, but it was so nice to just like have a dedicated date evening to like hanging out at the pier and going on the rides. We got the unlimited wristbands, the unlimited ride with wristbands. Yeah, when we first got there, we went on the pirate ship ride. You know, the ride where it's just like the pirate ship that like rocks back and forth. And I love that ride. And we sat like, you know, at the very top, so we would get the most butterflies going down. Oh, I love that. I can like feel it in my stomach right now. I love rides like that. And then we went on the thing that just like drops down. I think it's called the Tower of Terror, which is funny because we watched The Summer I Turned Pretty last Friday, and it was the episode where they go to the fair and do like a bunch of games and stuff. And I feel like that's what like inspired us. Like, oh, we need to do that this weekend. But Belly, they call it in the show, they call it the Tower of Terror, but it's just the ride that like, you know, takes you up and then just throws you back down and just repeats that. I love that ride. I love that rush. So we did that, and then we went on the Ferris wheel, which was really nice because the sun was setting, so I got some good pictures of the view up there. I love the Ferris wheel. And then I think we were getting hungry, and then we got like a plant-based hot dog there. I saw that on the menu. I'm like, okay. Didn't think there was going to be any vegan options at the pier, but yeah, we had the plant-based hot dog, and I think it was just like the tofurkey hot dog, but it was fun. And then we went to the arcade and we played a bunch of foosball, a bunch of skee ball. We played like the hoops game. But yeah, Julio and I love playing foosball. We actually have our like own mini foosball setup table thing. We get like really competitive. That's like the only game that I get like competitive for because I love it so much. It's like my favorite. It's my favorite thing. That's probably just because I grew up playing soccer and I love soccer. But yeah, it was just the best fucking time. Oh, and then we did the go-karts. We did go-karts, which was really fun. Oh my god. I was just like ramming into like little kids. It was hilarious. And then we did like a little photo booth. There's like a bunch of photo booths around the pier. I love the pier. The pier is such a vibe. I love it. I mean, it was like very crowded. It was super fucking crowded. So many families, so many kids, so many parents trying to run after kids. Like there's a lot going on because we went on a Sunday. We went on a weekend. So we want to go, when we go back, we want to go just like on a weeknight or really take advantage of it in the fall and the winter when not many people are there, because there's never, I don't think there's ever like an off season for the pier. I think it's always like up and running. And yeah, it was just the best date ever. I loved it. I want to do it every weekend. Time to get into Barbie because I have many things to say, but I'm sure you have heard so many fucking things about this movie. We're going to talk about it in a very chill way, okay? The media's done enough to break down this fucking film. I'm sure you've seen like every video on your TikTok For You page or on Instagram, people talking about it. Like it's kind of like played out at this point, the discourse, but I want to talk about it, okay? This is my podcast and I want to talk about it. Before I say anything, I would like to say that I've seen a lot of people saying like their boyfriend doesn't want to go with them, or they had to force their boyfriend to go, or their boyfriend was critiquing it and blah 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 blah. But I don't understand why a woman would be with a man who wouldn't go to see the Barbie movie with them. I think I just live in a bubble, and my bubble is called Julio. I know that most people that listen to this podcast know who Julio is and know, I don't know, maybe you haven't met him in real life, but I feel like it comes across that he's just like a very pure human. Like he's actually like the best human in the fucking world, or not even, like he's the best human to ever exist in the whole universe in all of time. So it it just like confuses me sometimes when girls will complain about these things about their men, when like I'm just like, what, like why is that attractive? Like why is it attractive to have a guy who's so fragile? It's not. And I think that if you have to force your man to go see Barbie with you, or if he like has some comment about how it's like not that great or whatever, like, yeah, people can have their opinions, but this is mine. Okay, remember, not being that serious. So this is my opinion. Dump him, like, take the trash out. I don't understand why you're calling him your boyfriend or husband or partner or whatever. Like, he should just be dumped. Dump him. Like, what? Like, I would never be with someone like that. But that's just my personal preference, and that's why I have the best boyfriend in the world, because I know what I fucking deserve. I know my worth. I deserve someone who's so secure in themselves and is a feminist, for one thing. I'm not. I would never call myself a feminist because I believe that women are greater than men. But he's a feminist, and I mean, I don't know, because I think he agrees that women are greater than men too. All I'm saying is think about how your partner is reacting to this Barbie phenomenon right now. Yeah, Barbie was for girls, made for girls, and like all the pink and stuff, it seems like it's made for a woman, but it's actually made for everyone, because the overwhelming like theme of like the patriarchy is bad is that like it's bad for everyone. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if your man is just like really into patriarchy, dump him. I think that's what I'm saying, and I stand by that. Now that we got that over with, I fucking loved it. I fucking loved the movie. I want to see it like 45 more times. It's just such a fun movie to watch. The soundtrack, the set, the cinematography, the casting. Oh my god. Who better to play Barbie than Margot Robbie? Oh my god, that kind of rhymed. Margot Robbie was born for this role. Like, her first breakout role, right, was Wolf of Wall Street. Like, that's how she, rose to stardom, and she was cast to make Leonardo DiCaprio. Who was he playing? What was the Wolf of Wall Street's name? Jimmy, Jason, Johnny, I don't know. I forget his name. She was cast to make him look good, which is funny because the people that are like having the opinion that, they're on Ken's side or whatever, that it's sexist against men. Do they watch movies? Like, do they know that there's way more fucking movies where a girl is just casted to make the guy look good? So that's like what Ken was made for, right? Like, he was made for being like a counterpart to Barbie to make her look good. And in these movies, along with in real fucking life, because men take those movies, they take what they see in the media, they take what the patriarchy is telling them, this is what a man is, and they're like, oh yeah, women are objects, so I'm going to treat them as such. Women are objects if they are attractive, if they're physically desirable, and if they're not, then they're just like discarded and not to be respected. Not like they respect the woman that they do deem attractive, but whatever, I digress. But like in all these movies, like James Bond, Bond girls, women are just seen as sex symbols, and sure, they might have like other qualities about them, but like that's the main one, right? Like, so that men walk out of that movie theater being like, oh my god, I'm gonna jerk off to her every night, you know what I mean? I don't know if I should say like spoiler alert, because it's just been like, this movie's just been talked about so much, so it's not really like a spoiler, I feel like, if you're a person who doesn't live under a rock. But basically, Barbies think that they did so much good in the world, in the real world, right, for a woman, and that woman can hold any position that men can hold, and that everything's like equal, if not like, there's so much woman empowerment, and women are in powerful positions, and they're fucking construction workers. And oh my god, side note, when when Barbie and Ken go to Venice, like that's the portal to the real world, which is just so funny. I talked in my last episode about how I was in Venice Beach shooting the swimwear brand, and how awful it was for all the men like catcalling and interrupting and like all that stuff. Like it was just like one after another. Like we just couldn't get away from fucking men everywhere, like thinking that they have the right to take pictures of girls in bikinis or say something or hit on them or whatever, like, or just stare, literally just stare. Like that's happened at so many photo shoots of mine. Actually, every single photo shoot of mine that I do in public with a woman, she could be covered from head to toe and a man will still just stand and stare creepily. But it's just funny, that scene when they're in Venice and Margot's like, I feel undertones of violence. It's like, yeah. So every fucking girl, that's it's just so funny that that's her first reaction. That's her first feeling in the real world, is undertones of violence from men. And I think that says a lot. Anyways, so Barbie thinks that she and the other Barbies did so much good for the real world for women, but then quickly realizes that it's the opposite. It's really a powerful message, because when you think about it, what Barbie represents, and even when you're little and you're playing with Barbies, it's plastic, it's a doll, and the proportions are just crazy. Like I remember when I was younger hearing that, like, if Barbie's proportions were on like a real human, like if Barbie was a real human, like she would be dead, like she wouldn't have any ribs or something. Like the body of the stereotypical Barbie is just unattainable. And it's crazy that is the ideal under patriarchy. That is what women are supposed to look like. They're supposed to have curves but not be fat. They're supposed to have a big butt but not big thighs. They're supposed to have big boobs but still have a tiny waist, you know? They're supposed to have perfect hair and perfect eyes and perfect mascara, and it's just this ideal beauty. And so Barbie in the real world has a negative connotation because of women's insecurities. Women's insecurities are $1 trillion business, right? And Barbie is adding to that. Stereotypical Barbie is adding to that, has added to that. Girls from a very young age are aware of their looks. They're aware of their looks in relation to how men see them. But I think that Barbie in this movie, it's just such a perfect representation of the patriarchy of society not allowing women to just be human and just expecting women to be perfect and always be smiling and happy and helping others and just perfect in every way physically and never age. Again, $1 trillion skincare business in the world, you know? And what Barbie comes to find in this movie is that women are beautiful, humans are beautiful no matter what. And I think the most important scene to me, the most amazing scene, I mean, yes, sure, America Ferrera's speech and I mean, everything, she was great in that movie. But I think the most important scene of the movie is when Barbie is sitting on the bench and looks over and sees the old woman. And she starts crying because she sees an aged woman. You know, when she's never aged a day in her life. She's a doll. She's plastic, right? But she looks over at this old woman and she starts crying. And the woman looks over and Barbie's like, "You're so beautiful." The old woman is like, "I know," smiling at her. And it was just such a nice moment. It's like in that moment is so much like understanding of how it feels to age as a woman, how it feels to put your worth on your physical beauty. Because the fact that like Barbie saw this old woman who is, you know, not stereotypical Barbie and not, you know, youthful looking and, you know, doesn't have like wrinkless skin and, you know, all that sort of thing. She still finds beauty in this woman's age, in her imperfections, in her not looking just like her. And I think that is a very important scene for every woman in the world to see, and every man too. I mean, men are notorious for divorcing or cheating for a younger woman, you know, because they hold value in that. They hold value in youth and beauty, because, you know, people say like beauty fades, but I don't think it does, because I think beauty is about every aspect of who a person is. Like, it's not just about your exterior. So yeah, really loved that. But Ken in the real world is introduced to patriarchy, and it's just a hilarious moment, but it's also like, oof, it's so real because it just shows how mediocre and unintelligent and uninteresting and unqualified a man can be and still be of high value, still be worthy of high paying jobs and hold powerful positions. It's funny, but this is real life. We're living under patriarchy, and it's not cool. And so Barbie has this like existential crisis that comes about from her time in the real world, because she's like, what the fuck was I made for? Because I thought I was made to help women achieve anything and do it looking flawlessly. But what she learns is what being a woman is, and that under patriarchy, woman can't win. But the overall message that she gets to with the help of other characters in the movie is that despite imperfections, despite not being extraordinary, everyone has a purpose, and we do not need to hold ourselves to these patriarchal standards of what a man and a woman or an Alan should look like. I think this movie is so impactful because Barbie is representing woman and how a woman's worth is not just focused, centered around their beauty. There's so many times when I'm scrolling on social media where a girl will be like, they'll have like a disclaimer, right? Like, oh, like my hair looks like shit today. Like, oh, I have a pimple, like sorry about that. Or like, excuse my hair, excuse my face, excuse my pimple cream, excuse my makeup, excuse my eyebrows, excuse my lips. How many times have you heard a woman say like, oh, like, don't be shocked when you pick me up, I'm not looking good today, or like, oh, I'm looking rough this morning, or I have to warn you, like I just had a facial and my skin's peeling, and blah blah blah. There's all these disclaimers and all these ways that women do not feel worthy to be in the presence of somebody else because of the way they look. But you've never seen a man say like, oh, like I'll come over, but I'm having a bad hair day, so like just ignore that. Like, have you ever heard a man say anything like that? No. I noticed this in high school, like with friends, and then in college when I would watch a lot of YouTubers. I still watch a lot of YouTubers. I don't know when I said when I would, but when I started watching girl YouTubers, there would always be this like disclaimer that they would say at parts of the video, like, oh, sorry, my hair's looking rough. Like, oh, sorry, like my whatever. Like they would say stuff like that. And I just really noticed it because I noticed that I didn't notice what they were talking about. Like they would say it and then I'd be like, oh, like that's not that big of a deal. When I was in college was so long ago that it's just been so much time, so many years since then that it's just repeatedly I've heard this rhetoric on social media and like in real life with my friends, and it just annoys me. It annoys me not because like they are annoying me, but it annoys me that they feel like they have to give that disclaimer. I've probably have said something like that before to somebody, but like I can't remember because I consciously don't say that stuff. I'm consciously not saying those things. Even if I am having like a really bad hair day, whatever, like even right now I could have gotten on here and been like, hey, like having a bad hair day, just put it up in a messy bun, like I know it looks like shit, like sorry about it, just ignore it. I would have been so annoyed at myself if I said that. And I'm not like, I was just saying that as an example, don't take that a certain way, but like I consciously never apologize for how I look because it annoys me that women feel the need to say that even around other woman. Even if they're just hanging out with other women, they'll still say it. I will never apologize for how I look, because I think that if somebody is in person with me, or if somebody is getting the chance to interact with me online, on social media, whatever, that is the least valuable thing about me. And Ken is more valuable than all of these ideas that he learns about what being a man is from the real world, right? Like all this like macho shit. And when he when Barbie tells him like he doesn't have to like do all, like when Barbie helps him realize that he doesn't have to do all this stuff, and Ken is like, yeah, those mini fridges, they're not that, the freezer's not that great either. It's a really funny part of the movie. But yeah, men suffer under patriarchy too. Maybe not as much as women, but they suffer too. And it's just, it's time for a matriarchy. That's what I think. That's what I got from the movie. No. What I really got from the movie is everybody has a purpose, no matter what they look like, no matter how extraordinary they are. Like, you don't have to be this like perfect person all the time, which is what society will tell you, but you don't. You just have to be. And I feel like that is the essence of this podcast, is it not? Like, I talked about it in the beginning of this episode, how I'm so okay with just being. I don't have to be this like extraordinary, I don't have to be the best something in the world to have worthiness, you know? Every single person, no matter how extraordinary, no matter how perfect they are, they still have to deal with being human. They still have to deal with like thinking about death and grief and anxiety and depression and dark thoughts. Like everybody goes through something, if not all their life, at least at certain points of their life. So we should all be a little kinder to each other, and we all should be kinder to ourselves, because the real world is hard. It's hard, and I wish I could live in Barbie land. There's so much more I could say about this movie, but I'm literally having a heat stroke because I have the windows closed for the audio. I hope you guys can't hear the fan, but like I needed it. Like I couldn't. Last episode I had to take like 5 breaks because it was so hot in here when I was recording. But yeah, to sum it up, I really enjoyed the movie, and you should go watch it. I'm gonna watch it like 5 more times. Thank you guys for chilling with me this week. I will talk to you next time. Love you. Bye.
Nothing much, just a chillin'.